Hello, I am Brenna Barzenick, physical therapist, have been for about 26 years. I have my doctor of physical therapy, and I'm also a yoga teacher and a huge advocate of health, strength, especially as we get older. We need to be mobile so that we can be functional in our daily life. And I came across this product, the Spiro stretcher. It's just unbelievable and so durable, and it has so many features that really it's an all-in-one tool. So I just wanted to show you very briefly a few things that you can do with this. You can do it from a chair, the floor. You can go to the website to learn more. But let me just show you a few essential stretches as a physical therapist that I would recommend to someone looking for more mobility, more balance, more strength. Okay, so come on over to the mat. Very briefly, I'm going to show you a few essential things you can do with the Spiro stretcher tool, this all-in-one genius invention that's so portable. So let me show you hamstring stretch first. And the hamstrings are really important. They're the big muscles on the back of the leg. They control how your pelvis moves, which affects your low back, etc. And it's important to keep mobility in the hips. And if you have tight hamstrings, it affects the mobility in the hips. So this is super simple, and you can actually do it from a chair. If you picture yourself sitting in a chair, if you can't get on the floor very easily, but if you can get on the floor, check this out, okay? So I'm gonna lie down, have it around my leg. I'm gonna lie down on my back, and then my foot is through the stretcher, and I just advance my hands up, just depending on my flexibility. If you have tightness here and you can't straighten your leg like I can, just keep a little bend in the knee and you still get a benefit here in terms of hamstring stretching, okay? So try that one. Okay, talking a moment ago about hamstring stretches, another really important movement, it's not necessarily a stretch, although it is actually for your upper body, is called bridge pose, which we call that in yoga, or a bridge movement, okay? So I'm going to put the Spiro stretcher around my ankles. I'm going to lie down on my back, and then I'm going to reach for it, okay? And you can see already how this starts to open up the chest, which is great for all the forwardness we do in daily life, just looking at our phone, on the computer, driving, etc. And so I really plant my feet, I hold the stretcher, and then I start to take an inhale and just lift my hips up, okay? And then depending on how much opening you have in your chest and your shoulders, I'm going to start to step my shoulders under me, really tug on the stretch tool. And oh my gosh, if you guys could only know how great this feels. And then release. I'm going to show you guys how to use the Spiro to help stretch your feet, okay? So as a physical therapist, one of the common ailments that I see, plantar fasciitis. I'm sure you've heard of it, and if you haven't heard of it, your buddy has it, or your mother has it, or your brother has it. Someone in your family or friend circle has experienced plantar fasciitis. Very, very common. And one of the main causes, although there are several factors, we don't want to point it to one thing, tight calf muscles, tight Achilles tendons, okay, which positions the foot in a way that can put stress on the heel, okay? So I'm going to show you how to stretch that out with this nifty all-in-one tool, okay? So I'm going to sit down, and this can be done from a chair, by the way. You don't have to be able to get on the floor in order to do this, okay? So I'm going to just slip the Spiro around the ball mound of my foot so that I can get more leverage, okay? And I'm just going to pull, and it stretches the Achilles, stretches the toes. It just feels wonderful, and this is just a great way to keep the ankle flexible, okay? And in order to walk properly, you have to have that full range of motion in the foot. Otherwise, things up the kinetic chain are going to become affected, like the hip, low back, pelvis, all of those things, okay? So plantar fasciitis, we're coming after you. I'm going to show you guys how to use the Spiro for balance. helping you increase your balance, okay? So I'm gonna put it down, and then I recommend a firm surface, you know, wood floor, tile floor, etc. To start with, because if you put it on carpet, it's actually gonna make the exercise a little more difficult because it gives, okay? So I'm gonna step on it first in the middle, okay? And you can see already that I'm having to adjust in order to stay vertical. And then if I take my feet out a little bit, I get a nice toe stretch in addition to having to maintain my balance. Okay, so this is really great for that. Check this out. I'm gonna flip it over, okay? And you can see the textured side, okay? I'm gonna put that down. And then for plantar fasciitis, which I talked about previously as mentioned, it feels so good, just the knobbiness and the texture. And I can even leave my foot there and then just step forward, stretching at the same time and getting tactile feedback to the sole of the foot. So it's just a great tool for so many things, but especially for foot and ankle pain. Okay guys, Brenna Barzenick here, physical therapist, continuing on the essential exercises and stretches that you can do that I feel are necessary to stay mobile and functional in your daily life, and who doesn't want that? So I take the stretcher and I'm gonna slip my hands through it and I'm just gonna bring it over my head, okay? I'm adding just a little outward pressure into the stretcher. I'm gonna take a breath, keep my legs really firm, stand nice and tall, and then I'm gonna start to lean to the side. Oh my gosh, feels so great. Try it at home right now and just imagine this tool in your arms. It just makes such a huge difference. And then we inhale and then try the other way. And back. Oh, feels so good. And check this out. You can put it behind you. It is so nifty, y'all. You don't need anything else but this. Okay? Comes behind you, firm the legs, loop the shoulders, and then lift. Another glorious stretch. And then you can even fold forward and get hamstring and shoulders at the same time. Get one today. SpiroStretcher.com. I can't say it enough. As a physical therapist, healthcare provider, yoga teacher, person who loves to be mobile, outdoors, etc., you need this in your life.